because there are just some things that I would not do being in my 30s compared to where I was out in the streets when I was in the early 20s. How's it going? I'm hoping that my mic is working. Happy New Year. Okay, Happy New Year. How y'all doing? I feel like, how y'all feeling about 2022? I mean, it's gone now, so ain't nothing to really talk about, but sometimes it's good to reflect. It's good to reflect on what the year... Ooh, for me, I think in my last video I did share that 2022 was interesting. I would definitely tell you that 2022 I went through a lot, and I'm not just here to just share my experience, okay? One of the first things that I did wanted to say is that 2022, when 2022 first started, boom, we lost one of our parents, okay? And it was, I don't even know the words to describe it. I mean, if you've lost people that are close to you, I'm pretty sure you understand. But beginning 2022, we lost one of our parents, and it was one of the most trying times of my life, and also in my relationship, you know. It was just a test of time, a test of fate, and you know, grief is such an interesting aspect of life. And anyways, that happened. So right after that happened, I don't remember where we left off because my camera did something, but what I was saying is that that happened. So right after that happened, we had to go through, in the midst of planning a funeral and all of that, we had to get out of where we were at. That is a story for another day, because but anyways, we had to leave where we were at. It was a nightmare. And yeah, so that happened early 2022. And when I tell you that it was just one of those things where you're just like, come on, like, can I catch a break? Can I catch a break? So after that happened, then I had to have my surgery. Found out that I had fibroids, right? And I feel like, to be honest with you, prior to me finding out and stuff like that, I wouldn't say that I had vast knowledge about what it was, because it was not something that was relatively spoken about unless you go searching for it, right? Which is odd to me, because this is a condition that affects women, and it's a common thing that happens too, but I wouldn't say that you get a lot of people that talk about it. But we will definitely be touching that in another video on this channel. But just fast forwarding everything, listen, don't talk about my foundation shade. We've already decided and made known that this shade is darker than me. I've ordered the lighter one. It's supposed to be coming soon, but I'm going to use it. Okay, I bought it and I'm going to use it. Anyways, back to what I'm saying. So I was scheduled for surgery, and to be honest with you, I've never had a major surgery before, any surgery before prior to this. So you can imagine my anxiety at the time. This was the same year. Okay, so it's like, come on, another thing. So anyways, I had to go in to get my surgery, and to be honest with you guys, I I tried my best not to think about it, but it's surgery. There is no way that you're not going to think about it. And mind you, this was all with, going through grief. We just buried a loved one. We are in the midst of like moving. We had to get all our stuff out. I had to go to many pre-procedure that I had to go to, that you have to get checkup, make sure everything is good, make sure you're clear for surgery. They have to do multiple checks, all of that. So it was a stressful time. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It definitely was a stressful time. And mind you, I had just been, I don't know if you guys remember, if you've been following me for a while, So I had just been promoted to the director's position at my job. I think this happened sometime last year. Was it November or December? I don't remember. But 2021, end of 2021, I had just been promoted. So imagine, y'all, this shade is dark, but I just love it. Is it weird that I like the fact that the shade is darker? By the way, this is the Haus Labs foundation. I don't know if I mentioned that, but something about I don't know, something about this foundation. It's back to what I was saying. In the middle of all of this, it wasn't just the fact that it was just so much going on, and I promise you, my mental was shot, okay, very much short. I didn't feel as though that I was even, to be honest with you, it's only God. That's all I can say. So anyway, after that, I had to, get my surgery and everything like that. And that was my major first surgery. You can imagine the anxiety that comes with having surgery that you've never had before. And you have to, go through it and everything. So that was an interesting time, to be honest. There were so much that was happening that I just felt like, girl, what are we doing here? I was like, 2022, you're not gonna give me a break. Anyway, so I went through the surgery, the anxiety, thank God I had, my family with me during this time. It was hard because, to be honest with you, I didn't. For someone who has never had surgery before, the anxiety that came with it, it was just like, just by me. That's exactly how I was, like, by me. I went through the surgery and they took out 14 fibroids. 14. Again, we're gonna talk more about that at a later date. But cut the story short because I don't want this. I just wanted to do a quick Happy New Year check-in, just to kind of let you guys kind of in a little bit about where I've been, to really get to the point that I was trying to make. But anyways, that happened, okay, and it was definitely a trying time for me because it opened my eyes to things that I take for granted, or I used to take for granted. I think that's a better way to put it. It really shed light on what I used to take for granted. And so anyways, we went through that, the surgery thing. I was out of work, during that time. All that happened. And like I don't know if you remember, I said we had to move out of our place. So even after the surgery, I wouldn't say we were homeless because we stayed with family and all that stuff, but girl, we weren't in our own home and everything like that. When I tell you 2022, oh Jesus, my mental was not where it was supposed to be, or where it needed, where it needed to be. I'm doing my makeup and I'm not about to get emotional. But when I tell you that, I had to dig deep. I had to dig deep and find that space to come back from how dark I was. To be honest with you, I really thought that I was going to, I felt like I was going to lose a lot. I was going to lose my relationship, family, loved one, just because of how I was spiraling. Okay, because I didn't do well. I didn't do well with the fact that things were happening. You know, when you're at a certain age, your life is supposed to, your life is supposed to be like, you know how you have vision for what your life is supposed to look like. Wani riro ni teniyo, shishe ni tolong. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But God had a different plan. You know, when you think that you have life figured out and you're planning it out and this is where it's supposed to be and this is how it's gonna go. When I say humbling experience. So after that, we went through the home buying process again. And we finally, like, listen, I don't know about you. I know that we were able to lock in the rates for our home before it went crazy high. But when I tell you, ooh, the house buying process in America is ghetto, okay? We need to have a conversation about this. But it is definitely, I would 10 out of 10 do not recommend. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't, like, this is not something that I personally feel like if you are not a patient person, the house buying market is not for you. Okay? Because they tested my patience, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought I was a patient person. I'm not a patient person. I'm not a patient person at all. You know, I had to trust God. I feel like with everything that happened, with the home buying process and all of that, like I had to like literally trust the process. Anyways, so we got our home and it was shocking because I remember that call came in and everything was good to go and our offer was accepted and all of that. Humbling experience. So we got our home, so we're now just settling in. I haven't really settled in as much, but that's sort of what my 2022 looked like. But what the point that I really wanted to get to, what I learned from it. And one of the first things that I learned in 2022 was gratitude, being grounded. I felt like a part of my 20s was that I was always on the go to go, you know. And I never really sat and reflected on my life as in terms of like what I want to do, how I'm going about it. Am I truly happy? What I want to, you know, like I felt like I was always like, I was in my bag when I was in my 20s. Like when I say I was in my bag, I was in my bag. Okay, that was what I was on the money. There's a difference when you are in your 30s. I don't know about you, but for me, my 30s are different from my 20s, and we are going to talk about that again too on this channel. I have a lot of content coming this year because there's a lot of conversations that I never get to share, because I feel like I've always held back in really speaking and talking in my truth and my experiences, just because I was worried of what the next person was going to think of me when I say it. But baby, we're no longer in that space, okay? We're no longer in that space. I am going to speak. I'm going to talk in my truth, my experience, my faith, and what the next person thinks of it, it really is not, it does not change who I am, what I am, or how I feel. So that is definitely one of the changes that I'm making in this new year. Big time. I am definitely making it in the new year. Okay, I feel like I've been talking. Let's get back to the things I learned in 2022. Another thing that I learned in 2022 is not everything is your fault. And I have to learn to be kind to myself. Whew. that one is big for me. Very big for me. For someone who, the way I think, oh Lord, the way I think and the way I operate is that I can control everything. So when things happen outside of that control that I think I have, I literally just go hard on myself, and I blame myself, and I start to just very negative, you know? And one of the things that I started working on transitioning into this year was definitely therapy, but also really working through that. Because, you know, sometimes you say you want to do this or how to do this. For example, be kind to yourself. Easy to say, be kind to yourself, but doing it is a whole nother level. And that can uncover a whole lot of things. But just to kind of wrap that up, but is being kind to myself and not blaming myself for everything. I gotta get this face together. Another thing that I would say that I learned, that I'm still learning and working through, is discipline, and specifically as it aligns with my faith. Discipline, baby, discipline. With everything that I've gone through, the discipline was an essential part of what I needed to do in order for me to get to where I want to be, or at least step into the journey of where I would like to be. Heard faith without work is like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? We've all heard that. And one of the big thing that I had to do was realign myself with God. When I tell you, I don't know if somebody tells you and said, oh, serving Jesus is just a walk in the park. Holding on to your faith when everything just seems like nothing is going your way is one of the most trying time, if you're truly doing the work, trying time. And I had to realign myself with the Word, with God, and walking in it. You know, sometimes it's very easy. I feel like because we were brought up Christian way, you know what I mean? And you automatically just accept and just think this is the way it's supposed to be and everything like that. When I tell you that is a lot of BS, because as an adult, I felt like I had to relearn what it means to walk in faith with God. They don't teach you these things, okay? And these are some of the things that I had to learn. No one tells you these things. I mean, it's a personal relationship that you have to build, and you have to understand who He is. So That was big. That was a big part of a learning curve for me that I'm still in the process. Don't let me get you wrong. Let me tell you, oh, I figured it out. I didn't figure it all out. I'm still learning, okay? One of the other things that I also learned in 2022 was that everything isn't for everybody. And your cup of tea is not meant for everybody. Okay? And you kind of have to be okay with that. You have to be. Let me finish up my eyelashes so that I can wrap this up. I didn't want this to take too long, okay? But let me finish up. Let's do our eyeliner, lashes, all of that, and I'm gonna be right back. So one of the other things, I just did my lashes and it's acting funny on the side, and I don't know why. But another thing that I did wanted to share, which will probably be the last night share today, is learning being comfortable with being in my 30s. Basically accepting being in my 30s and embracing being in my 30s, because there are just some things that I would not do being in my 30s compared to where I was out in the streets when I was in my early 20s. If for me, my mid 20s, I would not be doing now in my 30s. So I had to come to terms and learning that I am in my 30s and I need to embrace it. That is huge for me. That's why I'm going to use it as the last thing, okay, that I'm going to share today about what I learned in 2022 and transition into this new year. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, I'm looking forward to it because I don't even feel like I need to give it a reason. I'm just looking forward to new year. I'm just looking forward to the space that I'm in mentally, just freeing myself from the shackles. I'm freeing myself from a lot of things, and I'm looking forward to what that looks like. I'm gonna wrap this up because today is not really about the makeup I'm wearing, right? It's about me catching up with you guys. So I'm gonna change because I'm actually getting ready for work. For church, because it's first Sunday. So let me get everything together and I'll be right back. All right, we are back. So we're just going to finalize this. I'm actually running late because our church is an hour away from us, so we have to go. DJ already came in here twice. Like, ma'am, what's happening? But I'm gonna be going in with this Sephora lip liner. Oh, I absolutely love it. It's actually my favorite so far. It's been like my go-to for like a lip liner. Like, I find myself picking it up often. So just ignore what my list is going on. Okay, listen, I didn't have time to do the knitful and clean it the way it's supposed to, so it was looking like this. I'm gonna fix it, but y'all just don't worry about what's going up here. Don't worry, okay? Juvia's Place. This one is in lip gloss, is in Bronze Sugar. It's actually one of my favorite. And then I'm gonna go in with MAC lip gloss in See-Through. All right, we are at the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed catching up with me, chatting with me, but I did just wanted to share some of the things that I went through and how, what I've learned and how I'm transitioning into this new year. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. And that will be it for today. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you enjoyed this get ready with me. Let me know in the comment section how your 2022 was. Hopefully it wasn't as dramatic as mine. You were doing well, you know, 2022 was well for you. But let me know down in the comment section what you're looking forward to in 2023. Until next time, stay beautiful and stay blessed. Bye. What? It's the husband that I know. I'm serious.
Don't flash me. I didn't know nothing you said.
I hope that this mic is working.